Betty started volunteering here in 1995, about 2 months before I did.
And she just seemed like she was just a real nice person. And she got along with everybody in the place, and I respected her for what she did.
She just had a work ethic and the volunteer ethic that just stood out, and she just wanted to do, for other people.
As a new volunteer, she was very welcoming, and she'd when we go to break or something like that, Betty'd be in there, and she'd beckon to have me come over, and so it was nice to have somebody realize that you're new and I'm going to kind of help you out there.
She always had a smile. She always had a positive attitude. So her work ethic was just tremendous, and she wanted to make sure that everybody was involved.
She always wanted to just jump right in and help anyone that needed help.
Betty was just a wonderful spirit.
We had a fun time. We worked hard. We were faithful. I mean, if we said we were going to be there. So that is who Betty Van Hook was. I mean, she followed those tenets. I mean, that was it. If you're going to be there, you're going to be there.
I know one day when Kevin came in working for the food bank, he worked with us, and she was just laughing that we were working harder than he was, that he was not a very diligent worker at that time.
And I went behind the counter at Reclamation, and Barbara Miller and Betty Van Hook were working behind there. And I was trying to get the lay of the land, and Betty kind of just spoke up and said, "Hey, there's no standing around here, mister. If you're going to work, you're going to work." And I just kind of chuckled, and everybody in the line chuckled, and so I spent a shift with them, which was about 2.5 or 3 hours. And they were moving so fast I could barely keep up with them. And at the end of the shift, I said to everybody, I said, "These two aren't human, they're killer bees," Betty and Barbara.
When she left the area, she made sure it was clean. She was not going to leave a dirty workstation for anyone else to come into. It not only got swept, but mopped and everything wiped down and all the corners cleaned, and you didn't see dust and dirt under the racks or the rollers or anything. She and Barbara got in and cleaned it, and also got other people involved in it as well, so that it was a beautiful workplace for other folks to come into as well.
Betty's hair, it was always impeccable. It was always styled, and she, went to the beauty shop quite regularly, and it was just always beautiful and white and glistening.
Betty had a beehive hairdo. I was long past the time of beehives, but her daughter was a beautician, and so she'd go every day and get this beehive.
From the Wizard of Oz story where they did "Oh Rio," I would do "See Rio," and she and I would just laugh and crack up, and she would make the whole group laugh. Betty was just very good at that, and turning a frown into a smile was one of her attributes.
I would describe Betty as absolutely indomitable. I mean, if you think about it, she battled cancer twice, and through that whole time continued to volunteer here.
We'd know Betty be gone for a while when she was getting cancer treatments, but then she'd be back, and she'd be as strong as ever, and was committed, and you knew as best she could she was going to fight cancer and work hard at the food bank too.
After she had her diagnosis for cancer, and she went through all her treatments, she came back. She didn't have quite the strength, but she had the willpower, and she also got Guillain-Barré disease, which is a very rare disease. It attacks people who have immune diseases. But she came back after that and worked.
She didn't let us know at first that she was sick, that she was as sick as she was. She would shrug it off. I would say, "Betty, how you feeling?" She'd say, "Oh, just fine," and couldn't get anything out of her. But we could all tell that she was shouldering an additional burden, obviously, and then of course we started not seeing her at food bank anymore when she was physically unable to come.
Well, I think when she passed, a lot of us got together and said there's got to be a way to honor her spirit here. And we felt that the best way to do that, and we felt that the thing that Betty would want more than anything, is to perhaps have other volunteers recognized.
Well, I was very honored that I received the award, because she was the first one. It was named after her, and it was just a special honor to be, you know, in that group.
But it was a great thing for me. Give me inspiration. I mean, do what I do today.
To be awarded the award that's in her name is just a humbling honor for me. To be able to, in my own little way, carry on her legacy that makes my life that much more complete.
I was actually very surprised. You know, I had seen other people, I had been to the volunteer recognition banquets and seen other people receive the award, but I was very surprised to get it, but also very honored.
I was the recipient of the first Betty Van Hook Award, and anybody that receives this award, there's a lot of you here still, you all know how Betty was, how dedicated she was to the food bank, and it's a real honor.
Joyful. She was a very joyful person, but she loved to laugh and make other people laugh too.
Committed and hardworking. I guess I'd have to use those two words for Betty, and just really stuck to it, and a strong person too. Maybe strong is the right word for Betty.
It's exemplary, I think.
A real fun person to be with.
One word that describes Betty is just positive. She was just one of those kinds of people that we all hope to meet, and we're all better for after we've met them, after we've had them in our lives. And yet she would have said to you, I'm nothing special. I'm just another hard worker. I'm just here for the right reasons and doing a good job.